Reconnect successful? Okay, we should be streaming. Okay, where were we last time? Last time we did some stuff in our Eve API module. Basically, we managed to write the handler for the wallet transactions, and we now can pull a lot of transactions out of the API server. And in our current version, this looks this way. We get a huge query result for our last for the last orders we basically asked for. And this is a query result. It's cached until this timestamp, and it has some orders in it. The next thing we want to do is get an update button, preferably next to the logout button, where you can click and then the server pulls all the current data, stores it in the database, and redirects you, I think will redirect to the transactions. So let's first add a new handler. Okay. Well, and we check if the user is logged in and redirect him otherwise. Should just be wallet air, or wallet R, I mean. And we need in our template we have the navbar here, we have the logout here. This just for the moment. I hope we can make it better later on, but I just want to lay the groundwork. Normally you should click update and then you should get some indicators which steps are already done and which steps weren't successful and so on and so on. But for the moment we just go with an update. Did everything compile? Yes, everything compiled. Now we have an update button, and the update button redirects us to the wallet. Okay. Now for our model, we want to import transactions. for transaction we want I think we want a user. We want a user, and then we want the date time, which is the UTC time. We want the ID, okay, trans ID, which is an int 64. Quantity, which is an int 64. Yeah, we should store the type names, although this I mean, we could leave out the type names and make a table join, or we store the type names, which wastes more storage but is faster. And I want it to be fast, so we just store it as we have the data anyway. Type name is text. Type ID is an int 64, so we can link that stuff. Price sense is an integer. That will be funny, but that should work. The client ID is an int 64. Client name is text. Station ID is an int 64. Station name is a text. This is a bit yeah. Okay. Trans type. Can I define custom data types in persistent? That is the question. Oh, okay, this would just be... that is bad, but then we just document it. Because we have buy and sell and we have personal incorporation, we just put a bool there. Can we put a bool? Bool is possible, okay. And it's named bool. Transform bool. I make it a bit better. I name it is cell, so true is cell order, false is by order, and transfer corp, true corp order, false personal order. Then we get the transaction ID. Oh, the journal transaction ID, which is an int 64. And that should be it. And now we can use, we can fill this. Okay, there is no field integer. How big is an int 64? Hmm. 19 digits, we lose 2, 17 digits is... A million is 6, trillion is... a billion is 9, a trillion is 12. So it's 1 million trillions. Okay, nobody has this much money. And I will be proven wrong, but... yeah, persistent is index agnostic. Okay, I have to define my own indices. Okay. But this should be... Okay, it's recompiling. It created a table. That's what I wanted to see. Yep, we have a table transactions. ID, okay, we have foreign key user, which is the user ID. Nice. Okay, let's get the news transaction. What was it? Curious. Select first. last ID is select first, and what is it? Transaction.user transaction user equals our user ID, and how was the order by? This is then transaction ID, transaction trans ID. And desk. Oh, the other way around. It's a constructor. Desk by transaction trans ID. Does this work? Oh. Of course I need to run db here. Okay. Case last ID of just entity was it? Entity whatever key transaction. Let's just call it T. Then we do how do we call it? Okay, first we get the manager and then we get the API key. That's what we have to do anyway. Transactions are lift IO get market get wallet transactions with the manager of man and a key of complete key, and what was it? Get wallet transactions back to we want back to, and we want it back up to T is the thing, and we want transaction trans ID of the transaction. And if we have nothing, we want lift IO get wallet transactions. We want everything. wallet transactions. Was it part? No. We want the same thing, but we want back to transaction ID 0. This gets us the transactions, and now we want trans is a list of transactions. It's a query result of list of transactions. Okay. Case trans of query result time and trans. Otherwise, we just ignore the error. I don't care. And I should have a look at the chat. Okay, nothing in the chat. First we have run db with manipulation insert update. Update user ID and set the wallet timeout user wallet timeout to time. And of course we need a user wallet timeout here. And I think we have to kill our whole database for it, which is not a big problem. And we need a migrate transaction, which gives us this transaction and yields us... Oh, I named both transaction. That is good. Yields us a transaction. Import eve.api wallet transactions as WT. And of course we convert a transaction from our thing to our transaction. And we need a user ID for that. And the transaction I opened up on a second screen has the datetime, ID, quantity, type name, type ID, price sense, client ID, client name, station ID, station name, transaction type, transaction for, and a journal transaction ID. And we create a transaction with the following values. Oh, this is a WT transaction, and we convert it to a normal transaction. Yeah, we just take everything as it is. I temporarily copy paste that so I don't have to switch all the time. We take the user, the datetime, the trans ID, quantity, the type name. Price sense is from integral price sense, CI, CN, SI, SN. JTIE, where this is from wt.transaction type to bool, and TFC is transaction or transaction 4 to bool. Transaction for corp for corporation is true. Personnel is false, and transaction is sell of sell is true, and transaction is sell from buy is false. That are just two helper functions, and would migrate us a transaction from the API to a transaction that is compatible with our internal database representation. Okay, how do I do a mass insert in yeah. Insert many underscore. Insert many underscore, and we fmap migrate transaction fmapped over to the transactions we get, and this gets us a list of values, and yeah. This should be it. Let's see if it compiles. Oh, user has, of course. We just start again, and every user should be deleted. User wallet timeout. User wallet timeout. It's here. Where's the problem? Oh, okay, in foundation. 143. User wallet timeout is, do I have now? I have a now. Okay. That should be the problem with the foundation. Query results still by. This is of course WT, and this is WT and WT. Import qualified eve.api dot types as WT. I shouldn't name it WT, I should name it API or something. Okay. What has the... Okay, this dollar is redundant. Okay. Isn't it redundant here? Okay. $21.71. $21.71. Oh, it's... I should update it, not trying to use the function on it. And 22.95. Oh, and here it's migrate transaction with the user, of course. It's the UID. Okay, we have to delete everything. Delete, delete, delete. Now we have a clean database. And now I should get a browser open to get my API data again. There's my stream key, and if I update here I have to log in again because it's not okay. And now in the settings we have to put the API key. This auth key is working. Okay. And if we hit the update button, whoa! We get an error in our Eve API library. But he pulled a lot of data. Now that's a problem. We just switch projects. There's files. Oh, modules. Eve API. Jar wallet transactions. Line 102 to 106. Okay, what if we get an empty list? Ah, dang. Why do we call span find there? Okay, we match it here. Query result t and empty is return query result. What else can we do than throw it back? We save it here. Make sure it builds. push it. Install the dependencies. Okay, you do it. Quit the server. It's installed. Restart the server. Application launched, and we get pretty much 3 tons of transactions. That is okay. Now we should have some transactions in our database. $2,400 transactions. That is nice. Let's take a peek. That looks good. That looks very good. Okay. That was the obviously easy part. In the wallet we don't need to get the market orders anymore. The transactions is just run db with a filter, and what was it? Select list. Select every transaction where transaction, what was it? Transaction date time greater than, how do I do now, minus 6 hours, UTC time Haskell. Okay. Now is lift.io get current time, and we want the diff time to be what was it? Seconds to diff time, and we want minus that is 24 hours. What is 6 hours? 6 is 80,000 plus 3, 6, it's 21,600. And it's greater than at UTC time. First the div, then the time. It's action date time and descending. Let's see if that works, if I just can show it. Data time dot clock. How do I create a nominal term div? Okay, we just say it. Minus 21,600 as nominal diff time. Yep. Next thing is the widget stuff again. Not forms, templates, dollar for all. For all, transaction, we don't care about the ID, we care about the transaction from trans. What do we have? Transaction date time of t. We have this is just a rudimentary thing to see if querying works. Transaction date time, what do we have? Transaction, no, not type ID. Transaction price sets. This is interesting. Written this way, yes. Transaction client name, and this should suffice. Let's just try it out. Oh, it's of course entity. Market orders types is redundant, so we remove it. Okay. This is the transactions in the last 6 hours. 6 hours, 7 days. There are a lot of brackets, but HLint should tell me which are redundant, which of them are redundant. Okay. Then we update the routes. Where's the config routes? Okay, we have this, and now I can do 100 hours and 7 days. Yes. It's a bit ugly, but we can now at least display the transactions. We need a way to beautify it a bit, but well... Okay, now the SQL stuff gets a bit more nasty. Um, because I was thinking about how we can incorporate standings and so on. But first of all, we have to do something else. In our update method, we have to look at we have the user. Now is lift IO get current time and if the user wallet timeout of the user less than now, then we have a wallet update, else we do nothing. And the same goes for all the other updates. And then we need a column profit in our transaction. Which is yeah, we put a maybe in it, and then okay. First we get these standings. For this we have to extend our user once again and probably delete the whole database again. Standings timeout. And then the foundation, the standing, the user standings timeout is now. If user standings timeout first of all we need okay, first of all we don't have an empty then clause. Yeah, take the language extension and shut up. Okay. The bracket is redundant. This bracket is redundant. Okay, right. I should use when. I'm from Germany. Now? Now I have to do brackets again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we need a standings model. And we are only interested in cop standings. No, we are interested in corp and faction standings. How did I made it in lead that I got from the station ID to the corporation the station belongs to? We just name it corp standings and do the corps first. Let's of course we have a user, which is the user ID, and we have corp ID, which is an int64. We have corp name, which is just a text, and we have corp standing, which is a double. And the same for fictions. Basically copy paste and name it fiction. Okay. And now we have to kill the database again. Can I delete everything at once? Okay, if I now migrate everything again. We have the tables for everything else. And if I update, I have to log in, and we don't have anything saved anymore. Yep, okay. Okay, how do we delete? Delete where? Okay. Run db delete where, and the filter is corp standings user. Equals the user ID we have. But first of all, we should get the standings is lift.io. Yeah, this will break a bit. Import qualified eve.api.standings as st, and we need st dot get standings with manager and yeah. Okay. T.query result is here. What else is broken? Okay. Case standings of T.query result time standings, and with that we do run db do, and we do some things. First we delete the corp standings, and these standings is character standings, corp standings, fiction standings. And first of all we delete the corp standings, delete where faction standing user is UID. Then we insert many, migrate corp standings, the user ID f mapped into the C standings, and then we do insert many standings. And the two functions we have to write now, migrate corp standings is user ID to standings dot corp standings, and no, it's just a standing to was it corp standing? To corp standings. We have a user and we have a standing with corp ID, corp name, and the standing and we wrap it into corp corp standings with the user, the ID, the name, and the standing. Basically, we just have to attach the user to it, because here we always use the user as well, and the faction standing is the same but with a different constructor. Okay. This should compile. It does not. Of course I meant st.standings. Non-exhaustive pattern match. This will kill us. Not used time. This is a warning we want as well. We want update UID user standing. Was it standing? Standings? User standings timeout. Standings timeout to time. And now we should now everything should compile, and let's test it. This works, and if I update now, not much happened. The user standings timeout is what? It's 23.7. That should be less than now. Import debug.trace as debug. Debug.trace show user standings timeout of user. And show now. This should give us answers. Oh, ha 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 ha. It does not work because I don't have an API key. Yeah. Was it that one? The other one are not valid anymore, so if we hit update now, now we get a lot of stuff. Okay. Nice. Okay, now we can show last 7 days and we get all transactions from the last 7 days. And yes, I was not very active. There are not many transactions. Of course we need pretty printing for everything here, but we will handle that later. Okay, nice. Do we have standings now in our database? We have standings. Do we have faction standings? We have faction standings, indeed. Now to the big questions. How to get from the transactions... Yeah, vacuum, done. From the transactions to the faction ID. We need to use the station ID and I need a lookup table. I know it is in the static CCP data dump, and I'll have to see how I can import that stuff. I think I'll just import the raw Postgres data dump if there is one, and yeah. For this we just go to Slack and there's the link for the conversion tables. Postgres latest something. Let's see what's in there. Okay, it's a DMP file. No, just take Vim to peek at it. Is it a binary? It is a binary. It looks like. Then we'll just do an import. However, this works in this. PG restore. Okay. He seems to restore stuff. But main question is, did he kill my... No, he didn't kill my things. Okay. Okay, now we have the CCP data dump inside our Postgres database, but this should be automated. Or it is something the user has to do. Okay, next part done. Next thing, extending our transactions. Um, Profit, tax, and broker fee. Um, and we have to have something like in stock with it, which is in stock is let's put it after the quantity in stock. Okay. Now we have errors. Errors. Okay. Update 54. Quantity. If tis tt, then if it's a cell order, it's minus quantity, else quantity. And now we have to do the 3 nothings at the end. Okay. That is nice, but now we have to drop our transaction table. Transactions. Ding. We start, which recreates our transaction table. Yep, that does everything. And now we don't have any transactions anymore, but when we update, we get a lot of transactions again. Yep. Yep. That looks good. complex query I write manually. Persistent, how do I do? Raw SQL. SQL joins. Okay, where is raw SQL? What is the second parameter? execute is what we want. Okay. And we want to give it the user ID. Update. How did I do this in the old need? Update transactions. Okay, that was just the dumping in the database. Update text is the interesting thing. This looks good. Oh, we need a seconds to sell column as well. Now, of course, in our update we need now nothing more. But yeah, that's just minor. And we have no tax, which is a bool. Bool if no taxes should be calculated, and of course this is default false. Okay, now we plummet the SQL query in here, and first of all let's test it. And I do this by user ID. Where's transactions? Transactions. User. T.user is 1, but we have a lot of errors. Transaction type.